I was into my training, my gym was on.
Yeah.
But I also indulged in drinking and smoking and drugs and partying and, all that kind of stuff. I did that for quite a bit, because your results when you train, they go backwards when you participate in all these kind of activities. But anyway, it was going on till a time where I was getting a little fed up, and I think my drinking also got me into trouble once or twice. So
Once or twice is an understatement.
so there was this one incident where as usual, we were at a nightclub and we were drinking, and I got into a physical fight with someone, and that physical fight, broke a limb.
Oh.
And it was surprising that after that, I didn't know how serious this was. That 1 month later, I was called by the police and the inspector,
Wow.
and then the next day I ended up in jail.
Central jail.
I was in central jail with, all kinds of
Yeah.
charges on me with, 306, unbailable, attempt to
Okay.
murder, this, that, and I was like, and this was a friend
Yeah.
who I had known from a long time, who I got into a fight with, and this happened with a friend.
Oh.
And now the next thing I know is I'm in jail. Anyway, got
Yeah.
out of all that.
Yeah.
And then in jail, I think I realized a few things which were going wrong in my life. And then I could point all fingers back to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Then after I got out of jail, I did a Vipassana meditation course. And after that course in the meditation, because it's a 10-day retreat and you have enough time to, retrospect.
Yeah.
Though you're retrospecting in Vipassana is you not meditating, that's a different story altogether. But I guess in that frame of mind, I realized that, what I was doing was not okay. First of all, it didn't go with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I was a trainer and I was running and, advising people how they should stay away from this and do that and do this and whatever. But I was not doing the same. I was being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right? So I realized that. And then I told Khushi, I said, listen, I need a break. We need to stop all the drinking overnight. So drinking, smoking, drugs, everything was out. And we were lucky to have my father had a house here in Kodi. So we said, okay, let's try it out. So we can live a clean life, and
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Harmony Hour with Deepa, and today I'm super excited to introduce you with a power couple who is straight coming from Kodailkanal. Actually, they are not coming, I'm coming to Kodailkanal.
Nice.
So I'll just tell you about them. And so they run one-on-one, a fitness camp that's not just about working out, but also about transforming your body and mind in the most holistic way possible. And to talk about this incredible journey, I have with me the power couple behind this camp, Khushi and Prahlladh. They have been in the fitness industry for over 15 years and have dedicated their lives to helping people achieve their dreams body while staying mentally and physically strong. So Khushi is a master of yoga, meditation and Vipassana, bringing mindfulness and flexibility into fitness. On the other hand, we have Prahlladh. He's all about cardio, strength training and bodybuilding, focusing building endurance and power. Together, they have created this retreat where people can escape their busy city lives, immerse themselves in nature and work on becoming the best version of themselves. So today we are going to dive deep into their journey, how they started, what drives them into, and why they believe fitness isn't just about lifting weight, but about a complete lifestyle change. We'll also break some myth and fitness discussion, the role of supplements, and uncover why meditation and yoga are just as important as strength training. So let's start. Welcome Khushi and Prahlladh, and I'm super excited to talk and have a conversation with you people.
Thank you.
So let's start. So the first thing I want to know that how did one-on-one come to life? I'll start with Prahlladh. And what was the idea behind it?
Well, I started off my professional fitness journey, I think back in 2003. And So I ran a personal training studio for about 8 years before we started 101 Fitness. I felt there was between my training and the results, there was missing elements. There was missing elements in terms of nutrition. There were missing elements in terms of flexibility. So when we decided to start 101 Fitness Cody, we said we'll combine all the elements, which were strength, nutrition, flexibility, and of course cardio, and living in a setting where you had a disciplined routine and you could, start a proper fitness lifestyle.
Yeah.
Incorporating all these elements in a controlled environment so that you learn how to do the whole thing and change your lifestyle and get fit and stay fit.
Okay, that's a good thought. And what is the backstory of Prahlad?
Backstory of Prahlad is how I got into fitness.
Yeah.
Well, that dates back when I remember myself in school, I think must be 9th standard or 10th standard, where we saw Salman Khan's, he had a song, Oh Jane Jana.
Yeah.
And he had a great body of those days. And then we started doing push-ups and abs. So that sort of, we imagined we could get that kind of a body and stay fit like Salman Khan back in the day.
Wow.
Then, of course, I finished my bachelor's degree in hospitality and tourism management from Australia. When I came back, I was working in the hotel industry, but my mind was, on my training, on my fitness. And then in that midst, I had a back injury while I was training, and I was in bed for about a year, rehabilitating my back. Then after that, when the doctors told me that you're done with training and it's over, I couldn't accept that. So I said, no, there is another way. Then my mom gave me an idea. She said, listen, if you want to do it, you do it right. And then I went to London to do my professional fitness education.
Wow.
That's where I started my fitness journey. Then I opened up 101 personal training studio in Chennai, which I ran for about 8 years.
Wow. And what's the backstory of Khushi?
Khushi is, I was basically done my MBA in NGOs. Okay, so I was totally not into fitness until I met this hunk of mine. And it was like absolute arranged marriage, and I was just in awe with his botany and everything. So I just get married and everything, and then comes the part where he introduced me to training, and I am actually your example of someone who had no clue about strength, and I think he made me really understand something that Prahlad always talks about is muscle-mind connection, which is what we actually want all our students to enjoy. There's a high to training, and he, over the years, I learned that from him, and that's how strength became a part. And then I always loved dancing. So he was the one who I think saw yoga in me. I didn't even see it in myself. He said, no, Khushi, let's just give it a shot. Go give it. And so I went to Shivananda near Dam, and I did my teacher's training course there, and then advanced teacher's training. And then I also studied yin yoga in Bali and with Jofi. So then that's where my whole yoga experience started. And when I went for my first course in the ashram, it was deja vu. It was like I belonged there. But till then, I didn't even know that that was a side of me.
That's so inspiring, guys.
And that's it. I love teaching, absolutely.
Yeah.
And every student of mine, including Deepa, teaches me so much.
And I love my teacher. Everyone should come here. So, both of you come from very different fitness backgrounds. So, how did you combine your expertise to create this camp?
Well, when we came to Cody, we didn't decide to come here to work as such. So we actually came here to lead a good life. Obviously, you can see where we live in terms of the air, the vegetables are cleaner, there's less pollution, So we actually came to lead a clean life. But because I had a fitness background and people knew me in Chennai, then I got requests from students to train them over here.
Okay.
That's how we started, training one student, two, and then we made this program where they could actually live with us and get that holistic benefit of their training.
Yeah.
Like again, which includes again strength, yoga, the nutrition.
Yeah.
So, and the discipline.
Yeah. Actually, that's great because I myself is like doing training with them, and I have been here since last 1 week, and it's been great, guys. Like literally great, because not just because promoting them or something, it's a personal feeling. Like I feel if you are really going through some body, I'll just say that some. Like anxiety, or maybe you are going through something you want to change in your life, not only body wise but also like you can do vipassana, you can do meditation with Khushi. And eating clean is so important, I just learned, and today we watched Sugar movie, which is amazing. I'm going to give another reel about that.
Nice.
So next is, why there a turning point in your life that made you commit fully to fitness and helping others? Because I think it's all about one-on-one. I can see the dedication you people have towards each and every one students of yours. And so what was it? How did you commit?
Well, I think after I got my back injury, and then when I did my education and I learned, definitely better ways to train, I thought people should learn and train the right way so that they don't get injured. Whenever you come to the gym, I feel you come to enhance yourself.
Yeah.
You don't come to destroy yourself. But what's happening in today, because either we are overexerting or we don't have the foundations or we're not training right, we tend to hurt ourselves,
Yeah.
which should not be the case.
Okay.
So that was the starting point where we decided that, people can come and see us, learn as an example, and, see that the trainers are also training, they are also eating the same thing, they are also doing this. Then it motivates you that, yeah, if they can do it, and we've been doing it, I think mine is about 20, 21 plus years, and you can eat right and you can have a proper lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a great thing to take with me. For sure, I'm taking that with
Nice.
And so, what are one-on-one different from the regular gym or fitness center? How do you differentiate it?
Well, one-on-one, we cap the clientele at 6 clients. We don't take more than 6.
Yeah.
Everyone's an individual, everyone comes with different goals, different mental goals, different physical goals, different injuries. So there cannot be one program for everyone.
Yeah.
So here at one-on-one, we look at everyone, speak to them, find out what they're dealing with, and with our experience, whatever to our best knowledge, help them out in their fitness journey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about
So-
hand holding each person differently.
Yeah.
Not just telling them everyone the same and stuff like that.
So, if somebody wants to know about and come here, so what are the way you will say that they should go to social media? Where can they catch you, or like
Yeah,
get in touch?
we've just been off Instagram. We've not been able to do that, but now Khushi has been quite active on Instagram, so you can catch us on Instagram at 101 Fitness Retreat.
Yeah.
Retreats.
And our website is
Website is another thing.
Call us, as we are happy to talk to all our
Call
students.
us.
Yeah, and
Each
can
one
I
is
share your
happy.
number?
Please
Of
go
course
ahead.
you can,
Please
please.
go ahead. We
do.
love talking to each of our students, getting to know them, and so that when they come here, we have a nice customized program for them.
Yeah.
And also before they come, we like them to know how serious the program is. So
Yes.
it may be run by just both of us, and it's but it's very structured, as you must have seen, Deepa, like in terms of time, in terms of commitment. Like we want that from the student.
Yeah.
You come, then give your 100%. That's all I actually need from anyone. In fact, we had another student who called yesterday and said that, my problem is I'll come, but I don't know if my motivation will stay or not.
Okay.
I said, you don't worry, you come with an intention of purity, the rest is my problem.
Yeah.
And that's all we look for in a student. So if you're just looking for a way out, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely here for you.
Guys, by
Give
the
us a
way, we
call.
get up at 6:30 and there's a bell.
Yeah.
So it feels like
School
Big
days.
Boss ka ghar.
Big
Truly.
boss kind of, nice.
So you offer a mix of strength training, yoga, meditation, and outdoor fitness. How does this holistic approach help people?
Well, I think everyone needs everything,
Yeah.
which is, your flexibility, your strength, your cardiovascular health,
Yeah.
and eating right. So if you combine these, that's what everyone looks for in their fitness journeys. If you combine these, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. And I think if you miss even one of the elements, I think that's where, like, see, cardio helps with the heart. Strength is for the muscles. If you're not flexible, you will land up in injuries. If you do all this, your training is excellent, you're exercising and you're eating rubbish, you're still not going to get the results.
Right.
So that's why we say that each element is important, and I think that's what we focus on. Most people come to us say we do cardio is enough for our weight loss, but then you're not getting your dream body, and you will not if you don't strength train, or you'll get injured, knee pains, etc.
Yeah.
So we try and actually explain that every element is so essential, not just any one.
Yeah. So Khushi, let's start. Like I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
So you focus on yoga, meditation and vipassana. Why do you think they are crucial for fitness?
So what happens is, I think with yoga, first element of course is you have to unwind. Like a lot of people say, we are the yin and yang of the program. He's the yang, I'm the yin. So he breaks people and I fix them.
Wow.
So there's no fixing happening, then the next day would not happen.
Yeah.
So I think that's where yoga comes in. And like I feel, we may teach you something and you'll do it here. But to maintain the habit, you have to fix the mind. The
Yeah.
mind has to be in your control.
Right.
And that's where the meditation element comes in. Now, just to add, I'm not a meditation teacher. I've done Vipassana myself for like the last 15 years under the teacher's name is S.N. Goenkaji. And my mother-in-law is in fact a senior assistant teacher. Prahlladh practices, I practice, and we put an audio for you guys. And just as an introduction,
Yeah.
and give you all a group to get a feel of it. But I think what meditation's done for us is we chose this life of no drinking, no smoking, no drugs or anything for the last 15 years. And that's stuck by only because of our meditation. Because the mind's in our control. Otherwise, we could have easily slipped back, ourselves also.
Yeah.
So I recommend every student that along with your fitness journey, if you did something for your mind, it would really give you that sustenance, that consistency, which is where we all lack.
Yeah, and it really helps.
It really helps with that.
Okay, so moving on, how does mental health and mindfulness impact physical fitness? And many people struggle with consistency in meditation.
Absolutely.
I have felt the same.
Yeah.
So how can one start small step and make it like, a habit in their everyday life?
Absolutely. So I was reading this very nice book, Atomic Habits, with Dev and Yeshura just now. And in fact, he says, make the habits small. Like don't make it like every day I'm going to meditate for 2 hours, 3 hours. Make them smaller cues. I think that would be one technique to do it. Like 10 minutes, even the meditation we do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, and there is wonders. So one technique is make it small, make it easy. Do it with people you love, I always tell people your friends are an example of who you're going to become.
Yeah.
So you have to have people who do similar things. If they all are drinking and you're expecting to continue, it does not work. You have to have people, like you go to a nice gym, you meet nice people, then that's your pull.
Yeah.
If people are only talking about food all day long, it's going to be very, very hard for you to even sustain the journey. In fact, I salute people who live around so much food and still do it. You know? And like you said, another thing about consistency is that we were reading, in fact, this morning, and I was telling you that someone who's been doing it for so many years has fought through the boredom. So when you continue doing something, Deepa, there is going to be a time when you're just going to be like, I fight every morning to go on that meditation seat. I'm going to be like, oh my God, I just rather sit and read a book.
Yeah.
But every time fighting through that boredom and making it to the meditation seat, that's victory. So we have to do that to sustain, So just go through it. It'll always make you happy.
That's great advice,
Reaching there is
small steps.
Small steps.
One good habit, no sugar, like we did. I'm sure in your reel you're going to mention that. So that's great. I think that should be your first step to fitness, I think.
So moving to Prahlladh. So I have heard a very interesting story about before Kodailkanal, you were in Chennai and you had a very different lifestyle. Can you share that story?
Well, I was in Chennai like all city kids. I was into my training, my gym was on. But I also indulged in drinking and smoking and drugs and partying and, all that kind of stuff. I did that for quite a bit, because your results when you train, they go backwards when you participate in all these kind of activities. But anyway, it was going on till a time where I was getting a little fed up, and I think my drinking also got me into trouble once or twice. So
Once or twice is an understatement.
so there was this one incident where as usual, we were at a nightclub and we were drinking, and I got into a physical fight with someone, and that physical fight, broke a limb,
Oh.
and it was surprising that after that, I didn't know how serious this was. That 1 month later, I was called by the police and the inspector, and then the next day I ended up in jail.
Central jail.
I was in central jail with all kinds of charges on me with 306 unbailable, attempt to murder, this that, and I was like, and this was a friend who I'd known from a long time, who I got into a fight with, and this happened with a friend, and now the next thing I know is I'm in jail. Anyway, got out of all that.
Yeah.
And then in jail, I think I realized a few things which were going wrong in my life. And then I could point all fingers back to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Then after I got out of jail, I did a Vipassana meditation course. And after that course in the meditation, because it's a 10-day retreat and you have enough time to, retrospect.
Yeah.
Though you're retrospecting in Vipassana is you not meditating, that's a different story altogether. But I guess in that frame of mind, I realized that, what I was doing was not okay. First of all, it didn't go with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I was a trainer and I was running and, advising people how they should stay away from this and do that and do this and whatever. But I was not doing the same. I was being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right? So I realized that. And then I told Khushi, I said, listen, I need a break. We need to stop all the drinking overnight. So drinking, smoking, drugs, everything was out. And we were lucky to have my father had a house here in Kodi. So we said, okay, let's try it out. So we can live a clean life, and eat clean, meditate, do our training, do our yoga, and have a peaceful life. So that was what actually got us out of Chennai, and we moved to Kodi to lead a simple life.
Yeah. So what's the difference between that Prahlad and this Prahlad? How do you feel about it?
I think there's a huge difference. I think that that Prahlad was pretty much like I was thinking like a monster.
Hey,
Not that bad. A good monster, but a good monster.
Sexy monster.
A good monster, but now I'm a little more.
Yeah.
I think I don't get that angry.
Yes.
Yeah. The magic of Vipassana.
Vipassana, I would say
definitely.
it's definitely Vipassana.
Yeah.
Definitely Vipassana has a huge role to play in this.
And I'm definitely sure the magic of Khushi as well, right?
Yeah, she has tamed me as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the credit.
You should. Whatever you're getting,
Like
just take
embarrassed
it.
but fine.
Yeah.
So I would just add one thing to that.
Yeah.
Like I think after that period, when we came, he didn't make it as dramatic, but when we came, we actually had a few Blue Label bottles left in this holiday home. We drained them all down.
Yeah.
And we said there would be no one
Wow.
drinking in this house. So the house that you guys will be coming and staying in at the retreat, there has been no alcohol, no drinking, no smoking, no drugs by anyone for the last 15 years. So the vibration is very different.
Yeah.
And we experienced that. You know?
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
Deepa.
yeah, I do.
And then the other element, I personally felt that we started growing together as human beings. Like we started going for big marathons. We did like our Sandapku mountain, and, started doing things basically that Monday to Friday and that Saturday, Sunday drinking used to just take us back to square one. Then that square one stopped. We started moving forward.
Yeah.
We started going and training with the best trainers in the world. Even today, Prahlad and me both, the training and the learning never stops. It never stops, because otherwise we would, every time you come back, Deepa, there would be something new that we've learned. And that's what I think is something that has kept us going in life.
Yeah.
And that's honestly because the vices left us. So if there's something I want to tell all the people who are listening here, is to move forward in the fitness journey. The first thing is to drop your habits,
Yeah.
which is alcohol, smoking and drugs. because they are affecting your mental state. They are leading to depression, and they do alter your state of mind.
No, I totally
So
agree.
then you're going to have a drink and next morning you're going to make it to the gym? No,
point.
you're not. After that alcohol, are you not going to have chips and peanuts? You are. You know, so basically without that baseline, it's very hard to move forward.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's
so-
an incredible thing you people did. And I must say that that has also helped you grow your relationship.
Yes,
Because I
tremendously.
see you two, it's like lovebird in the 40s.
What really?
You know, it's not always about that lovey-dovey thing.
You mean lust,
but
lust.
we should not go there. But like it's good to see you guys, right? In the 40s, people fight. Like, you know, you're not doing this, you're not doing, but you guys are fighting because yoga time, gym time, strength training. This is a good fight, right? So I enjoy this rather than, like, you know, seeing the other thing.
Yeah.
So guys, it's never late. Like, you
Yeah.
can start, and every time you take a big step in your life, it is like great for your
Yes.
coming future.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you want to start, you can come on one-on-one fitness
Absolutely.
camp, and you
Yeah.
can, like, you know, they are great here, and it's super to be here, like, you know, in the lap of nature.
Yes.
And you'll enjoy each and every meal. I'll
Yeah.
share a few photos.
Thank
But yeah.
Thank you.
So coming back to Prahlad, so you specialize in strength training and bodybuilding. What's the biggest misconception people have about lifting weight?
Well, I think the women, it points out to women
Yeah.
where they feel that you know, they'll if they put on muscle, they'll look, you know, bigger or, you know, broader, which is complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Because if you look at my wife, for example, she can do, say, a 80 kilo deadlift, and she does 60 kilo squats, which is more than her body weight, and so on and so forth. And she's not bulky.
Yeah.
And similarly, I'm sure there are countless women on this planet
Yeah.
which can vouch for this fact if they have gone through training and they know that that is not making them bulky. So that is a myth. And of course, strength training, if you have muscle, you can sustain yourself in your old age. If you don't, you will wither away, because after 35, anyway, you're going to atrophy and start losing muscle, about 1% every year.
Yeah.
So to maintain that, you have to strength train.
Yeah.
There's no choice. This is not a choice. This is a must.
Okay, that's a good advice.
Yes.
And I'd just like to add one thing. So he said about old age, like I meet 13-year-old kids. In fact, something that I would like to tell everyone is that now we even do boot camps for family fitness with 13-year-olds
Yeah.
and parents, you know, so that the children are seeing the parents in a different light. So they're only seeing them partying, eating, and then they're telling them not to eat. So, you know, doing it together. But point being, I've had 13-year-olds complaining about knee pain, back pain.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you've heard that, Deepa, you know, and I can't believe it when I hear things like that. I'm like, you're 13. I don't want to hear your knees hurting.
Yeah,
you know?
because of
It's
the
not only, it's
lifestyle.
not, it's actually, it's the one aspect is the physical aspect. The other thing is the kids seem to be
Lifestyle.
having mental issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, ADHD, this
Yeah.
disorder, that disorder. You
So
know,
early now. Yeah.
So early. So I think the training and the gym is a very good focus center for
Yeah.
kids and parents. I think
Yeah, yeah.
everyone needs it.
Everyone, yeah.
Because children learn from their parents only.
Yes.
What parents are doing, it's a
They will
straight
replicate.
example.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's
So-
why we started this, where
Yeah.
they get to see their parents in this light.
Yeah.
And we did a couple, and the feedback has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So not just single, but even as couples and family, it's a good thing to do.
So guys, it's a, like, you know, in your summer vacations,
Yeah,
children,
yeah.
it's a great camping. You can enjoy
Yeah.
the nature, you can enjoy the food, you can
Correct.
have a strength training, and you can have a good habit. That's the
Yes,
most important
yes.
thing. With you, your family, your children, everyone.
Yeah.
So, okay, Prahlad, how important is cardio versus strength training for fat loss and overall fitness?
Are you asking me if I had a choice between the two, which one I would choose?
Yeah, maybe
100% strength training.
strength training.
100% strength training. Next would be conditioning or HIIT.
So, are you saying
Yeah.
that the people who run in the morning, that's cardio, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
So, is like they think like I do that. So, I think that I'm doing something good to my body, but if I go for strength training, that will be better.
Yes, because when you're doing a cardiovascular activity, the rest of your muscles are not really working.
Okay.
It's great for your heart, it's great for your circulation. It's not that it's bad, but if you, in the hierarchy of things, I would say strength would be number one, because either you use it
Yeah.
or you lose it.
Oh, okay.
It's that simple. You see older people, as they grow older,
Yeah.
and if they're not strength training, you'll probably find their hands and legs really,
Yeah.
really thin. They've lost a lot of muscle.
Muscles, yeah.
Then they get injuries. Then the bones
Yeah.
become weak, and so on and so forth. So if you have the muscle to protect you, you can lead a good life,
Yeah.
as you grow older.
So everybody should start the strength training first.
Strength training,
And
number
conditioning.
one. Number one.
Yeah.
And number two is conditioning. If you do these two, the conditioning takes care of your heart
Yeah.
and the cardio.
Okay.
So 2 in 1. And strength also, if you're lifting correctly,
Yeah.
you will find, say you do a set of squats, you will find your heart,
Pumping,
maybe
yeah.
in the yellow zone or the red zone.
Yeah.
So it is cardiovascular as well, strength training.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you get a 2 in 1 effect because you're working muscles and you get cardio. So I would always go strength training, number one priority.
You can end with cardio, no, Prahlad? Would that
Yeah,
be right?
depends on your calories.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yes.
burn extra fat, first you strength train, finish your training session, give all your glycogen storages, all your energy into your strength session. Then you move and do a light cardio to finish off if you want to burn some extra fat.
Yeah. For those people who are just doing cardio,
Yes.
let's start strength training as well, because that's the number one option we should always get into.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how does age impact muscle growth, and is it ever too late to start?
No, it's never late. I mean, I have clients who started training with me at 65.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
was just thinking of Israeli clients.
And I mean, they've started their journey. I have clients who started at 50, 53.
Yeah.
And in fact, I feel the above 40 is the new era. These are the guys who want to get,
Fit.
fit. They're
Yeah.
like, we're done with all this. And then now it's all about fitness. So
Yeah.
I have my older, more middle-aged clients who are more inclined to strength training and fitness these days.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And even the older clients who are above 60 want to start now. And it's never too late. Obviously, it's never too late. To move your hands and limbs, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
I agree.
So get on with it.
But it should be done in a structured format.
Yeah, for sure.
Very important.
Of course.
And with someone who's experienced,
Yeah.
like who has a foundation to offer.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, you need to start off again with
Otherwise-
baby steps.
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier, it has to be small steps. So, for older people, we have to be a little more precautious
Yeah.
in the way we train them. But they should start.
Yeah.
Would you like to mention blood flow restriction that we also do?
We do, yeah. So,
It's a special form of
you know,
training.
sometimes you can't lift very heavy weights. So then we also use BFR,
Okay.
which is called blood flow restriction.
Okay.
So you have these bands which restrict your blood flow. So there, in that sort of a training environment, you can lift very light weights, but the impact is of lifting heavy weights.
Okay.
So people who have injuries,
So
we
what
also
do you
prefer.
mean? Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
what do you mean by blood flow restriction? Do you put a band over some
Yes.
places?
So if I was to train my hands,
Yeah.
I would put a band,
Okay.
and these are
How does it help?
medical devices
Yeah.
which you have a pressure meter.
Okay.
So the band basically it
Holds.
swells up
Yeah.
like a blood pressure band.
Yeah. Got
It's
it.
something like that, but of course much thinner to cover your limb. And then when it's in a pressurized environment, you can train,
Yeah.
and so you don't have to lift too heavy. So you get that same burn and that that
Okay, I
same
got it now.
effect,
Yeah.
but with like one third of the weight.
Wait. Yeah.
So for older people, of course, if their vitals are normal and they don't have very high blood pressure, they can use this technique to train and gain muscle or retain their muscle,
Wow.
even when they're old.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll talk about supplements and diet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of debate about supplements. So are they really necessary, or can people get all the nutrition from the food?
You can get nutrition from food,
Yeah.
but you'll have to eat a hell of a lot, and the variety of food that you have to eat would be phenomenal. I think in our busy schedules, people don't have time to breathe.
Yeah.
Where's the question of, gathering all the vegetables
Yeah.
and all the nutrients? And I mean, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I personally have been using my supplements, which are basic. You have fish oil, you have magnesium, you have multivitamins, you have probiotics.
Yeah.
So these things we've been using for the last 20 years. And
Okay.
I feel it's benefited me, it's kept me as I am. I'm also 46 now.
Yeah. Wow.
And, my wife and my clients, all my clients are on supplements.
Yeah.
Because the understanding is that supplements have to be looked at as food. They are nutrition from food, which you take because maybe the soil doesn't have the nutrients,
Yeah.
or the variety of foods that you're eating are not enough.
Yeah.
So, this is an easy way out. We have the technology, we use it.
Yeah. So some people tell supplements as medicine. So can you say one line for those people?
The vibe.
Because when we take a lot of supplements, right?
Yes.
We have to take 5 aminos, then probiotic, magnesium,
Fish
and
oil.
then multivitamin, fish oils,
Yes.
and then seeing those many pills on the hand, people say if you eat this much medicine every day, you will collapse because they say medicine.
Correct.
So what is your point on that?
So, my point is that I'm standing in front of you. I've been having this stuff now for, over 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm standing in front of you. I haven't collapsed. Now, the difference between medicine and first of all, a supplement is not a medicine. A supplement is taken so that you don't reach that stage where you're put on a medicine.
Yeah.
That is what the supplement is. It's preventative, right? Now, the medicine is basically a band-aid. Once you get cut, you have to cover it. That is the medicine.
Yeah.
Right? So the supplement is very, very different from a medicine. Right? And we can take it. I mean, I've been taking it for a while and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one little difference, but I'll please add to this, is that, when people think supplements, first of all, supplementing the food.
Yeah.
That's why it's called supplement. But on the second end is that, you look at fat burners,
Yeah.
you look at growth hormones. Now, that's a very different section, right? When we are talking about supplements, we're just talking about the 5 or 6 that you've spoken about.
Yeah.
Aminos, which is protein. Magnesium is for recovery of the muscles. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, which today with great difficulty, even mainstream doctors are advising it.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, which when Prahlad started advising us, that was 15, 20 years ago from the athlete community. So that time it was unheard of. But today I feel at least it's come into the mainstream.
Yeah.
But of course, just because of that, you can't next say, now I'm going to take fat burners and all of that stuff. That's supplement. No, that's different. That's caffeine and those are different elements. They're killing your hunger. Those are not things we're talking about.
Yeah.
these are nutrients.
They are
Yeah.
nutrients, they are adding value to your skin, to your body and helping you nourish and heal. Recover. I'm not trying to cut your appetite with things like a fat burner and make you lose weight. No, that's not the intention. So when people look at it, they think it's a shortcut to fitness. No, it's about having a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's the intent. So the intention has to be very clear that why I'm taking
Yeah,
this.
and it's a great point to learn. Like everybody should know about these
Yes,
things.
yes,
Because before
absolutely.
coming here, I also didn't know much.
Yeah.
But learning and the way they teach you guys, like they have a PPT and they'll make you sit and they'll have the boxes in front of you and they'll make you read every ingredient and they bifurcated that how important this your body needs, this much, and the percentage you have. And I'm so thankful that you let me know that when you're having carbs with protein and then fats with protein. Like I never knew this. Like I'm so thankful for that as well.
So there's to add to that, one thing that I would tell everyone: stay away from the carb and fat combination.
Yeah.
Whether it's all your problems lie in that combination.
I don't think many people understand. Like,
Yeah,
maybe they'll Google it after that.
Yeah.
But
A funny thing is that when I have students with the same question, like, supplements, how many supplements, how many pills do I have?
Yeah.
But I don't see them questioning the fact when they have like a Coke, when they have
Biscuit.
chips, when they have biscuit.
that's why they come here.
तभी तो भाई कोई पूछ नहीं रहा.
That is the true trans fat and the
Popcorn.
unhealthy
Yeah.
oils and sugar. Nobody questions that. But you have a few pills in your hand which are actually going to enhance you. You question that.
Because
How
that's a
ironical.
psychology thought, right?
Exactly.
When you see
It's the
pills, you get
association.
scared.
Yeah.
When you see Coca-Cola, it's red, fancy. You're like, yay, that's what I want.
And that's cancer.
And which is the real drug.
Yeah.
Which is the real drug.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, how important is protein intake and how can vegetarian get enough of protein?
Protein intake, I would say, is the most important nutrients because the amino acids are the building block of protein. Your whole structure is protein. Your bones are protein. Your muscles are protein. Your hormones are protein. Everything is protein. Hemoglobin is a protein. So protein is the most sort of essential nutrient.
Yeah.
What is the second part of the question?
Yeah, it is like how can vegetarian take enough protein?
Vegetarians unfortunately don't have the full spectrum of protein, right? Because there are only few vegetarian sources of protein, which are soya and milk, paneer. So vegetarians do have a very limited source of protein. And that's why when we have vegetarian clients, we encourage them to have some good amino acids with the 8 essential amino acids. Or we also encourage them to have good quality isolate or hydrolyzed proteins.
Okay.
To substitute to make up for the lack of protein in their diets.
So I have a personal question. Like, is like amino anybody can start at any time of their age? Like, is it hard to digest? Like, if I'm talking about my mother who is 57, 56, I don't know exact, but can she also like intake it and there will be no such thing like loose motion or she'll feel something like that?
Yeah, so I can't vouch for amino acids in general.
Yeah.
But I can vouch for a few brands which I have also recommended for you and Yeshu and the aminos which I have recommended that you all take. With those aminos, yes, it is as you mentioned, it is a no side effect. In 21 minutes, it's in your blood. There is no digestive issues. In fact, these aminos are used even for sensitive patients like cancer patients. Okay. They come from a doctor called Dr. Minkoff, who has a cancer institute in America. And because what happens is that with people who are not able to digest dietary protein, how do they get protein? Because again, we are in a catch-22 situation where if you don't have protein, how do you gain muscle? But you can't have protein because you can't digest it.
Yes.
In this situation comes the aminos.
Yeah.
But only from the companies that I recommend.
Okay.
Not just generally, you can't just go to Amazon and pick up amino
So what
acids.
are the top?
Well, one is a company called Body Health, which we have. Then we have MAP.
Okay.
MAP is the original guys who had patented the 8 essential in the MAP, which is the master amino pattern format.
Okay.
So these two are the approved sources. Unfortunately, we don't get them in our country and we have to import them, but we can get them from desertcart.in. That's where we sort of import them from.
Nice.
So it will help. It will help, like you mentioned, the elderly, people who can't digest protein,
easily,
who get bloated, gas. Some people also get loose motions. So to avoid all these things, they can get their protein from amino acids from these 2 sources which I mentioned.
Even children. It's safe even for children.
Okay. So for the children's, at what age they should start?
As early as possible. So what we do is we crush it and put it in juice.
So are you talking about 1 year?
At maybe 2, 3 or...
Yeah, it's absolutely safe, but your doctor will make it safer.
After they stop feeding and get onto food.
Oh, this is new for me.
Yeah.
Like 1 year children can start.
Are they off feeding?
Some people feed till 2 also, Prahlladh, so I don't know.
So if they're not getting...
once they eat
if
normal
they've started
food,
normal food...
Okay, then they can start.
When they're allowed proteins, basically, when their digestion is ready for proteins, this is
so
extremely
majority
safe
time
source.
doctor says like eggs.
Yeah,
for them.
Then you begin this, basically.
Absolutely,
because
it's fine.
Some children have colic and all that gas problem. So it depends. So with aminos, they won't.
Okay.
But again, safer with knowing from it. But a pediatrician would not have much idea about aminos in India. I hope that also happens. Again, that's a general term. I don't know. Maybe people do it. But we've been giving it to 13-year-olds who've come to camp, no problem. Even to my 8-year-old niece, no problem.
Okay.
Younger than that, we haven't given.
Yeah.
But we think it's extremely
I don't
safe.
see the problem because it's aminos. I mean, it is the building block of protein. So if you can have an egg,
then you can have it.
The egg has all the 8 essential amino acids, and this is like amino acids in an already broken down form. So if you can digest an egg, you can definitely digest an amino. 100%.
If you can digest a Complan, you please have this.
If you can digest a Complan and a Boost.
Bonvita and Please
So,
have aminos.
like you mentioned, Bonvita, and do you want to give a highlight, because as you bifurcated the Good Day biscuit for us, can you bifurcate it for
Complan,
our
yes.
audience that what this complex Horlicks
Yeah,
and
those
Boost,
things, yeah.
and I used to love Bonvita.
Boost
So
your energy.
yeah,
I mean, if you look at the ingredient list in any of these, it's filled with sugar, first
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
And they dump a few vitamins and minerals in and just promote it as if it's some health drink for kids,
yeah,
which is actually quite sad. And then you have an advertisement where he's playing basketball and he's growing taller. And come on, guys. No,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's not happening, right? So
Yeah.
you can't be feeding your children sugar. All these things are packed with sugar, and you'll be surprised that even the doctors who prescribe protein for children, pediatric protein, which is for children,
yeah,
you check the sugar and you check the labels over there, it's got a ton of sugar.
Yeah.
Why? Because they want to make it tasty for kids,
right.
right? Otherwise, the kids are not going to enjoy it. But
Yeah.
that's wrong to put in sugar into,
Yeah.
pack all these sugary things are packed for children. In fact, children don't need this.
They're anyways pumped with
You know,
energy.
you know what sugar does to your brain.
Yeah.
So imagine these kids who are on a roll because you're pumping them with this drink and that Boost and this Horlicks. The poor kids, they're
Yeah.
going nuts.
With all this.
So guys, it's high time. You should just go and see what you are giving to your children, because if you are just feeding sugar, you are just playing with their mind.
Yes.
And I'll be posting a movie as well, mentioning in my reel, so that you can just know and get aware of these things matter a lot. The fancy things on the store doesn't tell you the backstory of it. It's just the glamour part, the reality you'll face in your house when you really face something is happening to your children or
Yes.
to you even.
Yes.
So if you want any help, you can come back here and get back, because I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying because this is something which I have experienced and it was a great experience. So if I haven't tried something, I can't,
Yes.
suggest you. So
Absolutely.
if I have tried something, they are here to help. And so what are the biggest diet myth people believe when it comes to fitness?
Fruit.
Oh yeah.
Natural sugars.
Yes.
Yes.
When you talk about, dates, gur, brown sugar, cane sugar, date syrup, maple syrup, all these kind of fruity, sugary things, which are natural. It's, you
Yeah.
have to be a little careful because they all have fructose.
Yeah.
Fructose is not really good for you. It is pretty much
Yeah.
worse than glucose.
Can you just break it, fructose, for me? The
Kinds of sugars.
yeah, the kind of sugar which comes from fruit. So in India, many people break their fast by eating fruits or fruit juice, and they think it's healthy. So do you have anything to say
Well,
on
you're
that?
breaking your fast. See, there are two. There is a good aspect of fruits. When you eat fruits, they do have fiber and they do have a bunch of vitamins and minerals,
Yeah.
which are good for you,
Yes.
right? But unfortunately, it also has fructose. Okay, so if you look at fructose and glucose, your liver stores fructose, and your liver has a capacity of only storing about 80 to 100 grams of fructose, right? So once that gets full, whatever you eat is going to spill over into the blood and be sugar, glucose. So that, in fact, extra fructose causes non-alcoholic fatty liver
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So it could be more dangerous for you to do that. Number two is that when you break your fast, you don't break it with a high sugary item.
Yeah.
You rather break it with some protein and fat rather than a sugary item.
Yeah. And Khushi, can you mention how much, if you are having a bowl of fruit, then what should be the quantity of it? Because people believe one banana, then some watermelon, one apple a day, and some papaya won't hurt any, some grapes also.
Yeah,
Mango season
yeah.
is coming.
Correct.
Everything will be fine. So can you highlight
I
that?
would say 100 to 200 grams. That's about it.
One
would be the
fruit.
max, yeah, in a day.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who loves watermelon and papaya and pineapple, do one a day, basically.
Okay.
Any one type of fruit, and the quantity being between 100 to 200 grams. Do not
Yeah.
exceed 200 grams.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The quantity matters a lot.
A lot. a lot.
Okay.
Absolutely. But
Quality and quantity, both.
Yeah.
yes.
So even if you have a mix, you stick to the quantity. Right? So you can split it. So if you
Okay.
have 200 grams, you split it.
100,
200 and 100.
Yeah.
So the sugar effect of the fruit is much less then.
Yeah.
Rather than you doing 200 together.
So we are just giving that much to our body, which is required for our body.
Yes, yes.
And which your body can handle.
Yeah.
Because it can't handle more than that.
Yeah.
You see?
But that's with all food, Deepa. That's something I would tell everyone, that look at food as medicine.
Yeah.
Don't eat it just for the taste. For us, it's like you said, it's an association. Hey, now I'm going to the movie, I have to eat this. But does your body need it?
No, yeah.
The point is, look at food as medicine. Now, as we spoke about supplements, you would have to take 5 aminos. Now, just because you like the taste of aminos, you're not going to pop as many as you
Yeah.
like. And that's what people are doing with food. You need only 200 grams. But now I like the taste, to abhi bhas. So next
Yeah.
time you're eating excess of anything, imagine you're eating excess of supplements.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that, you know. So we have to change the way we look at food.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
very important to look at it as medicine than as something that's just become a cultural habit for all of us
Yeah.
to graze. You know.
Yeah, it's very true. So, okay. So now we'll be talking about the 101 camp. And so what is the daily routine like at 101?
You want to say? I thought-
Anyone?
okay. So morning we rise up and it's
Yeah.
beautiful in Kodi in the morning. So
Yeah.
earlier it used to be 5:45. Now we become more gentle and kind as we're growing older. So it's 6:30 wake up.
With a bell.
Okay, with a bell. And bell is actually inspired from Vipassana. If anyone's gone for those 10-day courses, the entire course runs on bell. And
Wow.
that's actually where we got our inspiration from.
Yeah.
So we love ringing that gong in the morning.
Yeah.
And anyways, you guys come down, you'll have a nice detox drink, which is with apple cider vinegar and salt and lemon. And then from there, we go for cardio. Cardio depends on and if somebody has a knee injury, then we stick to indoor. Someone who's, okay to go outdoor, we go outdoor. But it's all done on heart rate basis. Everyone wears a heart rate, and based on your heart rate, you have to go. So there's no competition with anyone. We completely believe you have to work with your pace and Dave has to work with his pace.
Yeah.
Once we finish that, everyone's given a target for that 1 hour of 200 MEPs. We finish that, come back, have breakfast. And every meal is very well thought of with carb, protein, fat, and all of that stuff, which I think you
Yeah.
will put up post. So that's great. After we finish that, then we rest a little bit. Sometimes we have Tell Me Why sessions, which you spoke about already, Deepa, where we explain concepts. But this is not a nutrition class. It's just related to what you're doing here, why you're doing here.
Yeah.
That's all. So that you know why I'm having aminos. I mean, aise nahi pop karna, you know. Once you finish that, then there's yoga classes with me. Okay, where we relax you a little bit. And these classes are not meant to be too aggressive, like not Ashtanga format. The format's more Hatha and Yin, because it has to complement his training.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it would get very exhausting. And there's no monitors, no calories for that. It's supposed to yin you out, and we read a nice story at the end, and kind of, also training the mind to think differently. That's also my intent with that class. Then lunch, then a little bit of rest, and then in the evening is his session, which is all about strength. And then after we finish that, then is dinner. And then we do something called a journal entry, where you write down all your, whatever you've eaten, whatever you've burned. So this becomes your book to take home.
Yeah.
So you have everything that you've done here. And one thing, guys, that I would like to share, there are no secrets with us. Everything we know, share, or like we've learned in our life is for you guys.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we try to hide. But people have to implement it to get results.
Yeah.
That I can't do. But the rest, there's, whatever. If you like something, I'm happy to share the recipe. There's no secret.
Yeah.
Just come, take it. We just want people to take whatever they can from
Yeah.
here. That's basically what the day
Wow.
looks like. And of course, you have your cheat meal once a week, which I'm sure Deepa
Where
will
the
tell you more
calories
about.
are counted.
But it's a nice change.
But
I
it's a
guess.
nice change, yeah.
And
For-
then you have a Sunday off, you have
Yes.
a Thursday cardio off, so
Yeah.
little breaks in the middle just to, wind
And
you
I
down.
would like to highlight, like as we have in the journal.
Yeah.
So the highlight of the day is like Khushi's the 5 minutes story after the yoga session, and how does it is like so beautifully she says it, and that keeps us grounded, more thankful, and I'm very thankful for that. Because kindness is something everybody should learn.
Yes.
And
so
it should
true.
come from within.
Yes.
And you help every day. Whenever I sleep and listen to your voice, and the story which you say
Yeah.
is like amazing. Like, everybody should learn how like kindness can help you, like,
Yes.
grow in your growth, in your health, and mental peace.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because that's amazing.
That's true. Thank you.
So, okay, what kind of transformation have you seen in people who comes here? Your best
Lots,
student or
actually.
like something highlight?
Well, your husband,
Yeah,
great
yeah,
example.
yeah,
Yeah.
Many transformations.
yeah,
People who take it back, who
Yes.
basically can understand the fact that they need to change their lifestyle by changing their habits. They are the ones who actually take it back. We have transformations, a lot of them.
So have you seen only the physical, like, transformation or the mental?
Both.
Both.
Both. I think it's
They
an
go hand in
upgrade.
hand.
Like we always, the transformation is, Deepa and Deepa version
2.0.
2.0.
For
2.0.
sure.
Yeah.
And then it's next version and next version. And it's mentally also, right? The more you
Yeah.
train, the more disciplined you become, the more mentally strong you become. Because you get mentally strong,
Yeah.
again you can train. The cycle sort of
And I guess
continues.
it's the awareness as well. Like,
Yes, yes.
I wasn't aware of the supplements, the
Yeah.
sugary thing, and
The
like,
learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The learning. And you take it back with you.
Yeah.
And then you implement it in your life. Everyone's a transformation. Anyone who spends 4 weeks here, I can guarantee you, has transformed in some way or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
for sure.
obviously, we're not talking about physical transformations because it depends on where you start from. I mean, if you're 150 kilos, then to transform you, it's probably going to take me a year and a half. You see?
yeah.
So the physical transformation is different. It takes time. But yes, the transformation mentally and your journey begins.
Okay.
This is a good, kickstart and a good beginning point
Yeah.
because the journey actually never ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes on and on,
Yeah.
but you get better at it and you
Right.
cruise along.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so true.
And one of my students, Dev, who you know, he also mentioned to me, which was actually a moment of joy for me, when he said that, Khushi, now when I go to the gym, I go because I feel happy here.
Yeah.
And that for me was like he had made it. Because if that happens, it'll stay the rest of your life.
Right.
Till you just go for one number, which is a lot of my students, I'll be 85 and slip and they go back, it doesn't last. So
Right.
like you're saying, the transformation happens here, then Prahlad and me feel like our livelihood was worth it.
Yeah.
The numbers, believe me, not just me, many other people, forget that. You stop eating at home, you'll get it. You don't need us. But I think what we really like people to do is, like you said, experience a different way of living.
Yeah.
Where you're away from all the vices and you're living this life and you can be happy. Like, it's not that it's always, weight loss matlab boring. Arey, abhi khana
Yeah.
chhod do, peena chhod do, now depression. That's not
Yeah.
it. You can, it's a high. And
Yeah.
that's really or the peace that you get after a class,
Right.
in a yoga class. If
So my thought is like, when you have Khushi around, you will be Khush. Right?
yeah, that's the intention. And I want you to take it back with you. That's
Yeah,
By the
really
way,
what I
sure.
want.
Khushi name was given by me.
Yes,
Okay.
it was after marriage.
After marriage.
So you knew it, right? She is Khushi.
No, he said, you better bring only Khushi to my life.
No place for sorrow, sadness.
He was clearing his boundary.
That's a good way to put. So, how long does it take to see noticeable results? I know, like you mentioned that for a person who is coming from 107 kg, you need 1 year. But
Yeah.
like for people who can't give you more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Yeah.
like for them,
So
What do you
change is very
suggest?
relative.
okay,
Change because people come for different reasons. Someone may come to me for a rehabilitation purpose.
But then he,
Someone may come to get their knee better. Someone may come to put on a six pack.
Oh.
Someone may come to lose weight.
Yeah.
So results vary. If you're specifically talking about weight loss, you are talking about anywhere between 5 to 8% in a 4-week program,
okay,
of your body weight.
right? Of your body weight. So
Yeah.
whatever, if you're 100 kilos, then you lose about maybe 5 to 8 kilos in 4 weeks.
okay.
That's normally what we sort of target.
So you suggest the audience, whoever wants to come, plan for 4 weeks.
Definitely.
Definitely.
The more the better.
Yeah.
Because if you plan for 1 week or 2 weeks, you'll definitely get.
Something.
See, we also have to teach you, we have to give you lectures of nutrition, carbs, protein, fat, tell me why, we need to educate you. So it takes some time.
Yeah.
And I think, I would say maybe even if you don't have 4 weeks, at least come for 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 is good.
3 is a good, where
Number,
you
yeah.
finish the hello. First week is very difficult because you're in a different environment. Second week, you're fitting into the program. Third week, you're comfortable with the program. So at least when you go back home, 3 weeks, you'll take
It's like
back.
21 days habit.
Yes.
Yeah, you
It
could
would
say
be
that.
ideal.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be great.
But I don't know if a habit really changes in 21 days. But yes.
Yeah.
But at least you learn the crux of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now we are at the end of the podcast, and it was such a fun
Thank you.
talking to both of you. So, what your message to the people who are struggling with their fitness journey? One piece of advice from both of you.
Start today. There's no tomorrow. You need to get up and say, I'm done, and start your fitness journey.
Yeah.
If you need a kickstart, come to us, or just go to your local gym and start.
Khushi.
Yeah. Like Prahlad said, I think the first step is to move, make that step. I would tell everyone. And, like come here is definitely, or go to, like Prahlad said, go to a gym. I would actually say get out of your setting.
Yeah.
In your current setup, it's very hard to actually make a new routine or a new habit. So wherever you can, step out and make this priority. That's when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's so important when you look in the mirror every day and say, man, I want to get fit, but you're doing nothing about it.
Right.
So do something about it,
Yeah.
And preferably in a separate setup so that you can get your habits going and then go back into your routine and plug it in. Whatever works, but
Yeah.
do it, And of course, we're always here to help you guys out. So Bas as a fee.
Guys, just do it.
Thank
So
you
the
much,
last
Deepa.
question is, how can people reach out and book a stay or join one-on-one fitness camp? That's the end.
Call, website, or Instagram.
Okay. And I'll share the number.
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you,
And I have a
thank
you.
special, I have a
Thank
special
you.
thank to make. My brother-in-law is behind the camera, so it's like my pleasure that
Yes.
he is doing this for me, and I want to thank him. Thank you, Dev, and thank you, guys.
Thank you.